Welcome to Edison Open Forum Cannabinoids 2021. My name is Vivienne Parry. Now, legalization, increasing acceptance and demand for both pharmaceutical and consumer products mean the cannabinoid industry is booming. By 2026, the global market is estimated worth $60 billion, but biosynthesis could take it to new heights. Edison Open Forum asked the brightest minds in CBD what they think the impact of biosynthesis will be and what's next for their sector. With me is Paul Pedersen, CEO of Nextleaf. Paul, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me today.
So I know that you're a serial entrepreneur and you've been involved in cannabis sector for many years before you started Nextleaf. So tell us how you got into it and what Nextleaf's mission is.
Yeah, I got involved really when Canada legalized medical cannabis for commercial use or commercial production. Myself and our CFO were involved with Canada's first licensed producer, Peace Naturals, and we were acquired by the Kronos Group and then started Nextleaf really with the focus on doing only one thing, and that is extraction and processing and producing highly refined molecules. We said we would never grow a plant, but felt like there was a lot of technology around transforming lower grade biomass that's been grown outdoors at scale and being able to transform that into molecules standardized for potency. And that's really been the mission and the focus of Nextleaf since day one.
So as you've outlined, Canada has had a long history of use of marijuana for medical purposes. So really Canadians, it's great to be a Canadian in this sector. I mean, obviously it's always great to be a Canadian, but.
Yeah, it's a great time to be a Canadian. Cannabis has been legalized for adult use for the last 3 years. And, access, whether it's for medical, therapeutic, or adult recreational use, has been strong. And I think most importantly, what Canada has demonstrated in 3 years of legalizing, there hasn't been one overdose. There hasn't been an increase in teen drug use, driving fatalities. So I think all the things that opponents said were going to happen with legalization hasn't happened. We've got great data here in 3 years, and so hopefully we'll see legalization spread across the world in other developed nations.
So that's a real advantage for Canadian companies. But tell me why you chose to go down the biosynthesis route. Tell me why, for instance, the growing in a field or even in a greenhouses is actually not a sustainable future.
Yeah, we actually think that growing outdoors at scale and then actually processing that biomass into cannabinoids is actually more efficient than the biosynthesis route. And I'll be honest, we believe when it comes to the production of CBD molecules, that from an economic standpoint, you're never going to be growing hemp outdoors and then processing that into oil, into standardized cannabinoids, as opposed to going through a biosynthesis route. Now, I think there's a lot of technical merit to biosynthesis when it comes to the smaller cannabinoids, because you can't easily grow those at scale. But for us, we're processing tons and tons of CBD-rich biomass, which has been grown outdoors, and doing that very economically to produce highly refined CBD molecules at our licensed facility here in Canada.
And why is the cannabis market growing so much at the moment?
I think there's a few reasons for that. I mean, CBD is a fantastic molecule that has a lot of health and wellness benefits, and I think consumers, whether it's using CBD products or THC products, I think consumers are finding cannabinoids are a fantastic alternative to alcohol, to pharmaceutical products, and again, other more harmful recreational substances. So I think the substitution effect is real, both from a medicinal perspective. There's a lot of data that says that medical cannabis consumers switch to medical cannabis over opioids, and then I think we're seeing that with alcohol as well on the adult use side. So I think lots of health and wellness benefits from cannabis versus other alternatives that's really driving a lot of this change in consumer behavior.
And what particular advantages does Nextleaf bring?
So Nextleaf owns one of the largest patent portfolios globally of any cannabis company. We have developed this really robust IP portfolio around the extraction, distillation of cannabinoids, and we believe that we have patented the most efficient methods to transform dried biomass into CBD, THC distillates, which are standardized molecules ready to formulate cannabinoid-based products. So for us, we think we have a world-class IP portfolio. We've got a purpose-built cannabis refinery, which allows us to very efficiently transform biomass into standardized molecules, and as well as manufacture products. So we really believe that as a company, we're IP driven, and we're focused on the most important part of the supply chain, and that is not in growing this stuff and farming, but in the intellectually property driven side of the industry, and that's extraction, purification, distillation.
How do you cope with the vagaries of weather? I mean, Canada's not known for its warm weather, and the fact that there's really quite a variation in cannabinoid content between different plants depending on the season and all of the weather and all those things.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. I mean, Canada has one growing season a year, and so right now we're in what we call Croptober, and so that's when the harvest comes down. And for us, it's really interesting. We deal with it. There's a lot of challenges when you're processing a biomass that's been grown outdoors, and you hit on a couple of them. For us, we're able to standardize the output to potency. We're through our proprietary filtration methods. We're able to remove a lot of the impurities, issues that may arise from how it's grown, where it's grown. Really, the goal and how we've built our processing plant is that biomass of lower quality comes in, and there's going to be a lot of differences, variations in potency. But what we're able to produce is this high purity, standardized molecule at the end through our patented technology.
So you feel that you've covered the risks of outdoor production, and that your plant, which is so efficient, is really the mitigation for those potential variations in crop availability.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also selecting. We do a lot of analytical testing. So we have a third-party lab that we work with that we actually make all our biomass suppliers go through. So we're also selecting. It's not just in our plant, but it's also selecting material that's been third-party tested, that's been shown to be clean of contaminants, and for us, that's what we love about cannabinoids. In Canada, here is very well regulated, unlike the United States, and gives us a great opportunity to work and vet suppliers and lock in a supply chain and produce scientifically validated molecules and that are free and clean of any contaminants. So it's been a lot of fun building the supply chain here in Canada, and working with local farmers to convert their lower grade harvest into a high grade product.
And what about biosynthesis as a threat to your business model?
Well, I don't see it as a threat until the economics of a CBD molecule or a THC molecule through biosynthesis can compete with the economics of a THC or CBD molecule that's been grown at scale outside, processed at scale at our facility. Where I do see competition is in the minors, the CBN, CBG. We have been developing intellectual property around converting CBD and THC into minors, into CBN and CBG, and certainly, I think there's a lot of opportunities for companies to develop biosynthesis technology around the minors, and certainly aware of that side of the industry, and they're going to be growth in consumer demand outside of just CBD and THC molecules.
What are the opportunities and the next steps for Nextleaf?
The big opportunities for us is to roll out our product, our branded products here in Canada. We've recently launched our Glacial Gold brand here in British Columbia, and proud to say we've competed really well against some of the largest cannabis companies globally, Tilray, etc., that we've seen, and I think consumers have really gravitated to a local company that has produced a great quality product. For us, it's really taking that distribution of our products nationally. We have a CBD 50. It's been very popular. It's one of the top selling CBD products in our market here. We've only launched it 4 weeks ago, and very excited to take that product nationally and continue this evolution of creating great products from lower grade material. So we think when you step back, there's lots of environmental positive impact on the products that we're doing, and being able to transform a material that's been grown outside, turning the lower grade into high grade products, and bring great products to consumers that delight them.
So that key, it seems to me to be absolutely key to your business model, this idea that you can convert this low grade biomass into this high grade product, and moreover it's an artisan product, if I can put it that way, in
Yep.
the same way that you can have artisan gins or artisan tequilas, you can have artisan
Sure.
cannabinoids.
We all our cannabinoids are triple distilled, and come out with a nice beautiful golden color. We like to say it's premium whiskey versus moonshine, and I could show you some photos of the type of material that we pull out of our distillation process, allow us to get to a very nice clean finished product, perfect for dosing infused products that are legal here in Canada. So for us, we really see again the growth of cannabinoid production from extraction through our business to make a lot of economic sense, because we're not working with high grade material. We're literally turning biomass in that's being discarded and pulling the cannabinoids out of that material. So from an economic standpoint, it's going to be hard for, I think, biosynthesis to catch up with that. However, again, lots of opportunities in the minor cannabinoid space.
So does that mean that you have an advantage because you're using this, this relatively low grade material in terms of ESG?
For sure, absolutely. And if you look at, my colleague actually recently gave a presentation that said, based on research, that a 1 gram joint, smoking a 1 gram joint that's been grown indoors with artificial light, is the equivalent carbon emissions as driving your car 40 kilometers. I mean, that's outrageous. That's absolutely outrageous. And I think, cannabis consumers are getting more sensitive, from an ESG perspective. I mean, we run a facility where our moniker is garbage into gold, and we're very excited about it, and very excited to create products that are sustainable in nature.
So to conclude, I wondered if you could outline your current investment case for potential buyers of your stock. Why should I buy your stock?
So we think Nextleaf's a fantastic value at our market cap. We're a micro cap stock, yet we have a patent portfolio that competes with the biggest cannabis companies globally. Earlier in the year, GW Pharma was purchased $7.2 billion by Jazz Pharmaceuticals, built largely around their 57 US patents, and Canopy Growth obviously is another leader in IP. Nextleaf Solutions is proud to have 17 issued US patents. We have a robust IP portfolio driven by a great team, small team, 24 full-time, and a licensed facility that allows us to compete with the largest companies in the world. We're lean, we're mean, and we put out some great products under our Glacial Gold brand. So we think there's a lot of excitement happening right now, and we have a great shareholder base that's really supported the vision and the mission of staying lean, focusing on one part of the supply chain, and building a great business that we think gets very valuable when you look at our global IP portfolio and where cannabis is going from a legalization perspective globally. So very excited for the road ahead.
So lean, mean, and Canadian, a kind of triple whammy there. Thank you so much, Paul, for talking to us about Nextleaf. We so much appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks so much.